Welcome to Happy Home Therapy on Zanda's TV, channel 161 Star Times. I still remain your host, Merima, aka Emotional Healer. And on Happy Home Therapy, we talk about relationship, marriage, anything bothering you at all. Bring it on. We talk about it and advise you on what to do. We are into community development, we're into charity organization, charity works. Yeah. So on today's Happy Home Therapy, we have a guest in the house, a beautiful mama, a counselor actually. And she's going to join me in talking about red flag in relationship. And someone will ask, what is red flag in a relationship? Red flag got warning signs. Yes, some of us in relationship today, we actually saw the red flag, but we were too carried away by emotions that we couldn't just accept it. Probably we hoped for a change, and we are suffering it today. So we're going to talk about the red flag. Maybe you are in a relationship and that red flag is very obvious for you to see, but you are too carried away. So we are going to remind you what red flag is all about and how you should avoid it. So we have a beautiful mom in the house, a counselor, Mrs. Oge Erondo. Yeah, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Yes, I'm here.
So, Mama, can we know more about you?
Thank you so much for this wonderful time.
You're welcome.
Feeling. I am Mrs. Oge Erondo, the host of Heart Talk with Oge. Heart Talk is actually a Christian program on relationship that delves into the inquiry of love connection, self-discovery and purpose, which helps in building, strengthening and reviving of love and intimacy in marriage and relationship. I also run a school. I'm a proprietress of Brilliant International Schools. Actually, I have the passion to help the young people.
Okay. You're welcome to the show once again, Mama.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you in the house. Just like we were saying before, we are talking about red flag in a relationship. And I said red flag are God's warning signs. They are the things, it's a way of God reminding you, it's a way of God showing that this relationship is not meant to be. But most times, we try to force it, which is very wrong. Those of them, if we are to tell ourselves the truth, most people in marriages today, they actually saw the red flag.
Yeah, sure.
But probably they hoped for a change. They thought the person is going to change with time and all that. So we are going to talk more about the red flag. So Mama, what is red flag?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You know, this is a very important topic.
Yeah.
As long as relationship is concerned, it's very important.
Yeah.
And I believe that everybody should have the knowledge of this. You know, before I go into what red flags are, you know, I would like to quote the Bible, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7.
Okay.
You know, the Bible says that wisdom is the principal thing.
Sure.
And in all you're getting,
Yeah.
get understanding. You know, this is why I believe this topic is coming up for us to be wise enough in our decisions in relationship.
Yeah.
So coming to the topic, red flags. You know, red flags are warning signs in relationship, in courtship. You know, when you are in relationship, there are certain things you'll see and you now think twice. You now say, this thing, if I continue with this relationship, will it really work out well?
Yeah.
Will I see the good side of this?
Yeah.
You know, so red flags are warning signs in relationship.
Okay.
For instance, now you are in a relationship where you see things from the word go.
Yeah.
You see things moving out well, but along the line you see some funny things, because the purpose of being a courtship is for us to study one another to know if this will really work.
Yeah.
But it's quite unfortunate that many people have allowed emotions to becloud their sense of reasoning.
Yeah.
So hence this topic.
Yes. So, what are the things what are the signs to look out for you to, you know, some people don't actually, they know that it's God's warning signs for what is yet to come. But now, some people might be seeing the red flag, but they won't be able to recognize it when they see one. So, what are the signs that will make you know that this are red flag, you know? Can you tell us the signs?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh.
You know, some of the things you will see in a relationship, you know that is a warning sign. Is number one, trust issue.
Yeah.
Because it's very important. The Bible says in Amos 3 verse 3 that two cannot work together unless they agree.
Yeah.
So trust issue is a very important point. It's a very important sign. You know, sometimes because I've counseled a man that said, please look at this relationship, Mama.
Yeah.
I asked this lady her name,
Yeah.
and she gave me another thing.
Wow.
Yes, because ladies are fond of this.
Yeah.
They are not always sincere when it comes to their age.
Yeah, age.
In relationship, yes. You know, I know of a man that walked out of a relationship as a result of the age issue.
Yeah.
So if a relationship begins with lies, and if the partner in question, for instance, now okay, let's take the age for instance.
Okay.
You are my partner.
Yeah.
You are my partner, and you ask me my age. For instance, if I am 25,
Yeah.
and I said I am 20. Now later on in the relationship, you come to find out that okay, this lady is 25.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you think about it. So it's a warning sign. If you notice any kind of lies, lack of trust,
Yeah.
that is lies.
Not
you are creating room for insecurity. Because if I notice that this lady is not truthful, this man is not truthful, I'll feel insecure in that relationship. So when lies are found in a relationship, it's a warning sign. Because if this man or this lady will begin or will tell me lies in a relationship, that means there are certain things that about her, yes.
So you come to
so
realize
it is very important. Trust issue is very important. It's a warning sign.
Okay.
Then another one is secrecy, lack of openness.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people they are being highly secretive in their relationship. For instance, now somebody having a health issue or health challenge.
Yeah.
Because I've counseled people that ask, oh, Mama, should I tell this man my health condition?
Okay.
It's very important that you reveal
you
open up, because some people are asthmatic.
Yeah.
And they have some people have different kind of health challenges. So what if something comes up along the way and the guy or the lady doesn't know how to handle it? It's a warning sign. Because I know of a man that died out of a sickness that the wife wasn't aware of.
Wow.
Yes, close people, close friends. You know, the man was always sick, taking some drugs. The wife kept asking, what is
the problem?
Really, what is the problem? What are you suffering from? The man kept, I believe that maybe when they were cutting, maybe the lady saw some of the signs.
Yeah, but she didn't
really know. And most times we may be having some challenges that our partners may be able to solve the problem. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you keep things to yourself, for instance, that the health issues is a warning signal. Okay. Because if this man can tell or this lady can hide his health condition, he can equally hide other things.
Yeah.
Because some ladies or some men have been affected by HIV or other things as a result of
being secretive.
Yeah. So it's a warning sign.
Okay.
Then there are many of them. Should I continue?
Yes, you can continue. Yes.
Okay. Another one is communication issue.
Okay.
Because I believe that the heart or the heart of every relationship is communication.
Yes.
And we all know that communication is always sweet at the early part of the relationship. When everything is good to go, communication is always at the peak.
Yeah.
So along the line, if you notice that this guy or this lady is no longer interested in talking with you, there is a signal, there is a sign.
Yeah.
Because nobody is too busy when it comes to relationship. If you start forming busy, that means there is someone that is keeping you busy out there. Because, okay, for instance, now ladies, because I've counseled some ladies that said, for instance, one of the ladies I am still counseling presently, you know, she's dating a guy that stays outside the country.
Okay.
She said, Mama, I don't know what is wrong with this guy. You know, when we started, he was always calling, sending text messages, checking on me. Which is normal thing. Yeah. But at a time, he made a complaint. He said, you need to grow up. You need to improve on yourself. Work on yourself. There are certain things you should know. There are things you should be doing. So after that complaint, the man reduced his communication. Yes. He now says that the man stays for weeks without calling her.
A distant relationship.
Yes. The man stays and sometimes he just says, okay, hi, how are you doing? So she now asked me, Mama, what do you think? Is he still going to change? I told her this is a signal, this is a sign that his interest is going down in this relationship.
Disconnected.
Yes, there is a disconnection somewhere. So you have to move on with your life.
Sure.
So, and the funny part of it is that this lady has scared people away. She thinks, I asked her, has this guy proposed to you? She said, no, but we are good to go. We are
Wow.
good to go. Yeah. So I told her that it is a sign.
Yeah.
The connection is no longer there.
There.
As long as there is no more communication, there is no more zeal, there is no more...
there is no need to, yeah.
Yes. So when there is a communication issue, a relationship, when there is a break in communication, it is a warning gap.
Okay.
It's a warning sign. Then another one is violence. Abuse.
Yeah, domestic violence.
Yeah, abuse. You know, there are men or ladies, especially men, you find it in men.
Yeah.
Men that give you verbal abuse.
Yeah. Which is the worst. Yeah.
Seriously, verbal abuse. You know, I've also counseled a lady that said, Mommy, I don't know, I'm just depressed. I asked her, what is it? She said, there is this guy, he keeps telling me, reminding me of bad things. See how you are?
Yeah.
You see some abuse,
Yeah,
sorting
valuing her.
But after that, you still see that the guy will still come back to tell her some nice things that will make her to calm down. So if this man will abuse you in relationship, he will abuse you more in marriage.
Yeah,
so that verbal abuse is also, you know, the point that it will get to the time where the man will call her worthless things. So you are
even
worthless. You are
the point. Yeah.
I'm talking about this verbal abuse.
Okay.
You know, the man was just using all sort of nonsense, bad words on her. That sometimes she will think that it will make her to start. At the time, it made her to start having low self-esteem. She began to look down on herself. She began to reason towards the things that the man was telling her. So this is a warning signal. If you're in a relationship where a man or a lady tells you things that will make you to have low self-esteem, it is a warning signal, because in marriage he will do more. Yeah. Then another one is the idea of abuse. That is violence, beating, domestic violence. Yes. If a man beats you in a relationship, he will beat you more. Yeah, sure. I counseled a lady that was thoroughly beaten up by a man some time ago. You know, we were having a program and she walked in with one part of her eye swollen. Sure. So I called her and I asked, what's the problem? She started crying. She said, he beat me up. I said, who beat you? I know the guy. She mentioned the guy's name. I asked her, what was the problem? She said that they were talking, they were together, and her phone rang. So she was like, she didn't want to stay there to answer the call. She had to move out, and the guy had to force himself to collect the phone and broke the phone. And after that, in relationship, yes. After that, he still had to beat her up. So after beating her, she came back. So when I told her, it's time to walk away from this relationship. She said, no, Mommy, he loves me.
Oh, really?
So you can understand that people have allowed
emotions
to becloud their sense of reasoning. So if a man will have the heart to beat you up in a relationship, honestly, in marriage, you have given him the certificate to buy your coffin. Yeah. Yes. So these are some of the signs, warning signs.
Okay. So you've had Mama, some of the signs to look at for in a relationship, for you to know that the red flag is there.
Sure.
And so, Mama, you were talking about you talked about the signs, the things that when you see them, you know that this are red flag. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. What about in a relationship where the woman is overbearing, like you want to know everything about the man, you want to know his project. In fact, you have to be the one to approve all his projects. Is that also a red flag?
Actually, is it to be the one to approve or to want to be?
The woman, she always wants to be. Yeah, she always wants to approve his projects.
Yes.
She wants to know where he is, who he's with, what he eats. Like she wants to be in control of his life.
It's a serious warning. It's a sign.
Okay.
It's a red flag.
Okay.
You know, no man wants to be controlled.
Sure.
Actually, the Bible did not make the women to control the men.
Okay.
You know, we can indirectly control them, but not impose it on them. Yeah. You know, the Bible says that women should submit. So that submission is what is needed. Yeah. So it's a red flag for the men, because if a woman, no man wants an overbearing attitude. Okay. So if the lady wants to know where you are, wants to know who your friends are, wants to come into your discussions with your friend, she would even want to dictate who you go with. So it is a red flag, because even in marriage, she would want to control you. Yeah, sure. It is very wrong. It's very wrong. So it's a red flag. So if you're in a relationship with a lady and she's showing these signs, it's a dangerous sign. Please walk away.
Okay. So what about, I'm going to ask another question too, so hope you don't mind. What about in a situation where you guys have been in this relationship for a long time and all along, for one day he never abused you, and then all of a sudden when you talk he'll be like, I will slap you. He keeps repeating that particular attitude. Is that also a red flag? Do you have to ask him? Do you have to, pause, or you continue with the relationship?
Yeah, two things are involved in this issue.
Okay.
You know, I always believe that in every action there is a corresponding reaction.
Yeah.
You know, the ladies should equally, because the ladies can change
Yeah.
as well as the men.
Okay.
Not that relationship might not work again.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So if something like that comes up in a relationship, it's good for the two people involved to sit down and talk.
Okay.
If it is as a result of the actions of the lady,
Yeah.
because somebody's action can prop up another person's inaction or
Yeah.
action. So you look out, you sit down and have a communication, have a conversation on that. But if it is maybe on your own part as a lady, you've checked and you notice that it's not from your side. It's not, you are not the cause at all.
It's just
a sign. Yes, it's just because we know there is something that is called strategic withdrawal.
Yeah.
You know, if a man wants to withdraw from a relationship, he will put up some strategies. So it can be one of the strategies.
Yeah.
Trying to, number
Scare
one,
you off,
he may try to scare you off. It might also not, he might not be doing it to scare you off,
Okay.
but things about you will begin to irritate him.
He's been disconnected.
Yes, there is a disconnection. So and there is no how he will tell you just leave.
Walk out,
Because maybe you have been there for a long time, you've been in that relationship for years, so there is no how you can just, so he will now start showing it in his actions. It's a warning sign.
Okay. Wow, that was so wonderful. So what is your advice? How do one walk out from such a relationship? How do you break out from that relationship, not minding the years you've invested in the relationship?
Yeah, actually, this is one of the mistakes that people make.
Yeah.
There was a question I asked, because this question has been trending on social media.
Yeah.
For instance, now a guy that has two ladies, maybe one has been with you over the years, enduring, just putting up with you despite your
Attitude.
your not attitude actually, despite your low level of income or your not having anything.
Okay.
The lady has just been there.
Financial breakdown,
Then yes, then another one from the other angle has really given you a support because she's handy.
Yeah.
So the question now comes, amongst the two,
Who do you
which
go for?
one? Yes. So now the man may be like, I don't really know how to
choose.
this one has been there for me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Being the one that has tolerated, endured all over the years. Okay, then the other angle, he may also say, this one that really helped me. I don't know how to. Yes. So what I have to put here is strategic withdrawal. Okay. You don't get into marriage out of sympathy.
Sure.
Irrespective of the years you've put in a relationship, you cannot equate it with the years you put up in marriage.
Pains,
Yes. So if it's not working out, make up your mind to walk out, to walk away. Walking away might not just be to disconnect entirely. Do it strategically. Don't always be available as you can always be. Do you understand?
Put up the red flag.
Yes. So gradually walk away.
Okay.
So the number of years might not matter.
Yeah, it's true. You've had our mama on the show today. Red flag is very, very necessary. It's very, very important for you to look out for them. They are always there. They are always there. Most of the people in relationship today, like I said earlier, they saw the red flag, but they were not able to accept it. They hoped for a change. They thought it's something that would just, probably when he wakes up tomorrow morning, he will change. When she wakes up tomorrow,
some people don't even understand that they are red flags.
Yeah.
So that's why this topic is very important.
Very important.
As a result of emotions, because people mistake emotions and love.
Yeah.
So love is not emotion. Emotion is not
Not
love.
love.
But there is a possibility that love can create emotion.
Yeah, when worked on, yes. So as we talked about today, red flag. Look out for red flag in your relationship. If they are there, don't make excuses for them. Don't try to change them. You don't change a person. A person chooses to change because he or she is in love with you. He or she has seen reasons to change. You don't change people, especially when the red flag is very obvious for you to see. So Thank you very much, and it was nice having you on the show today.
you so
Hope to
much.
see you next time. I'll
Sure.
invite you. Okay. Thank you very much, and see you next time on Happy Home Therapy.